Welcome to Firearms of America. Today, another episode of Firearms of Celebrities. I have a legendary John Di Lemme. John, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming to my YouTube channel. So, a few things that you want to share with us. We're going to start with that. I heard you have an awesome show coming up.
Yeah,
very soon.
I'm excited because, you know, Frank, first off, I love your channel.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Everyone, make sure you go through all of his videos, to all the ones in his playlist, because he's the nation's expert on the Second Amendment, why gun ownership is important more than ever right now. Why we are the right to bear arms to protect ourselves and our family. And we'll make sure you watch all the reviews. Any questions on any guns or any weapons, make sure you speak to Frank. And he's passionate. His YouTube videos are tremendous. And it's an honor for me to be in your show. I really appreciate it. And what we're doing is as a founder of Conservative Business Journal, I've interviewed Frank on my podcast series. We're doing an event here in Naples, Florida called We the People Fight Back.
Yes.
And we have people coming in from now 19 different states, and I'm excited for you to share, your story. Frank's one of the keynote speakers, and more than ever, Frank, we need people to understand the Second Amendment. What's going on right now in Cuba? There's three things they do. They steal the vote, which is going on here in America. Yep. They try to control the media. Yep. And then they want to take your guns. Yes. And that's why it is so important for all of you to have that confidence and freedom to understand why we have to bear arms. Absolutely. It's very powerful.
Absolutely.
It's powerful.
100%. So, We the People Fight Back event. I really like the name of it.
Sure.
Because I think a lot of people these days, they forgot what fighting really means.
Yep.
A lot of people are too comfortable, and a lot of people get things get to the point where we are today in this country.
That's right.
We have the radical left out of control. They're pushing their progressive agenda.
And the communists.
Exactly. And really, at the end of the day, they call it socialism. They can call it socialism as much as they want. But at the end of the day, socialism is just a synonym for communism, and communism is just a synonym for tyranny.
It's interesting. When I interviewed Frank on my podcast show, something you said, we pulled this section, this has gone viral. What you talk about, Frank, is real scary. What's more dangerous is the beginning of communism than where it gets to, because you're letting it in. Like you said, the word let. When people let things happen, it starts to kind of take root, and then before you know it, then people go, how does this happen? But We the People Fight Back. It goes back to 1776. Yes. The people said, enough is enough. I want my freedom. And you've got to realize, the entire world right now, we look at the entire world, and as a founder of Conservative Business Journal, I've been blessed to write 20 books, and I'm a conservative political commentator, and I live and breathe this. And America right now, for the entire world, when you look around, they're looking at us going, why can't they get us, the people? Why? The Constitution, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the Declaration of Independence. We declared our independence in a battle. That's all right, we're recording live. And motorcycles are here, it's good. But we're good. We're gonna wait.
Makes me miss my bike.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get one.
Yeah, if you have been subscribed to my channel, you probably know, if you remember my bike, it was a nice Harley Davidson V-Rod. I sold it because I didn't ride it often enough, but
we're actually doing this live. We're actually recording this in front of Seat to Table.
Seat to Table, yeah, the best place on earth.
That's right.
It's no longer the, what is that Mickey Mouse place called? Disneyland? It's no longer Disneyland. It's
Seat to Table is awesome. And Alfie Oakes is the founder of Seat to Table, the owner. He'll be at our event speaking also.
Yes.
But back to what we're saying about the communism, we the people, it's all of you listening. All of you are born a champion. God birthed you a champion. You're watching this somehow through YouTube. Maybe someone shared the video with you. You are an important person to have dreams and goals for your family. You have a vision. And we the people have the Constitution to protect this country. Yes. And that's what we the people, in our event, we're going to encourage and empower people, whatever topic that people are losing confidence on. The right to bear arms, Second Amendment. And we have people speaking about voter integrity. We have people speaking about, obviously, what's going on with the health situation here in America. We have Rebecca Friedrichs coming in from California to speak about the school unions with President Trump. President Trump trusted her to share with the world during the Republican National Convention in 2020 what was going on in the school unions. And she's going to be live with us here in Naples, Florida. And we got Sabine here. How awesome is Sabine?
Sabine is amazing.
Angel
Sabine,
Mom and Maureen. You're going to wait till you meet Maureen. Her son was killed by an illegal alien, and as a legal immigrant, it's so important. And remember, all this comes because if they get the guns, they can have all this happen.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want. At that point, there is really nothing you can do when you don't have any more guns. And also at the end of the day, it's a human psychology too,
Right.
because it's not only the government that can do stuff to you, it's also the people that psychologically cannot do
Key point.
anything. Even if they do have a weapon that they can fight, they're not going to fight back if they are long enough under the oppression. That's why you see, that's why I look at what's going on in Cuba today, and I have a lot of respect for those people that
Yeah.
they finally stood up and they're finally fighting back. But
That's right.
how bad is it right now? The Cuban military killing unarmed civilians. It's unbelievable.
I mean, that's the process of state police. That would be like the UN police, where the most powerful person in America is the sheriff. What some of you don't realize is your state constitution is actually more powerful than the U.S. Constitution, and the sheriff is an elected official.
Yes.
And the sheriff is very powerful in America. And remember, in Cuba right now, it's pure communism. When Castro came in, he promised a big promise, and then the government controls you. And look what's going on. I mean, the average wage is $20 a month. And I'm actually, by this time you guys air this, I would have done I'm doing a town hall on communism in Hialeah. And at our event, Frank Deverano, you met, I wasn't with Frank.
Frank is great.
I mean, Frank's written 28 books in communism. He served 2 years in prison, got a 30-year sentence because he stormed Cuba in Bay of Pigs. And then he got out after 2 years. He was a prisoner of war. But I want everyone to listen to you right now. You're watching this on Frank's channel. Bear your arms. Make sure you have a right to protect your family. And we, the people, it's every one of you are individuals that have godly dreams. You have a vision for your family. You love this country. And we, the people, fight back, not physically. We're not BLM. We're not Antifa. We're fighting back by, traditional values. I founded the Conservative Business Journal on 17 reasons, 17 purposes. The word motivation, because I've written 20 books, I'm blessed to say that through the grace of God, that the word motivation means the incentive to take consistent action no matter what happens. What's your motive? Well, the motivation for all of you is your family, your future. Like my family came from Italy. You hear me speak about it. I actually have it's actually back by the car. I have my whole family's heritage, the immigrant heritage comes from Italy. And we have to stand here in America. So we, the people, fight back peacefully. When you tell people, look, and talk about the 17 values, what motivated me. The right to bear arms, freedom of speech, giving a voice to the unborn, pro-life. I wrote my third book 15 years ago called Champions Are Born, Losers Are Made, about everyone's born a champion. I always say this, as you're watching this, today is day one. You're watching, however you're watching this. Today's day one. So everything you did in your past, we move forward. It doesn't make a difference. You got to Frank's channel. You're listening to this. Believe me, don't let this. They're communists. Communists want to control and kill you, and it's so important. So we, the people, and you stand for the right to life, the pro-life movement, traditional marriage, the right to praise and worship God. It's all to muzzle you, to stop all that. I mean, and it's so important, guys. Conservative values, the word conservative, Frank, means to keep guard and protect from harm or corruption.
Yes.
So a conservative is to protect them. Same as right now, a seated table here is closing up. These doors are locked.
Yeah.
They're conserving and protecting all the valuable assets in our store. There's millions and millions of dollars of inventory. You won't leave the door open.
Exactly.
And also, strong borders, legal immigration. You're a legal immigrant. My entire family heritage is legal immigrant. And I want to ask you a question about that. How important is the word legal immigration?
Well, I think it's very, very important. It shows dedication to the country that you're coming in. Because think about it, if you're coming into the country and you are not dedicated to be a citizen of this country, to obey the law, to stand for the freedoms, stand for the Constitution, have respect for the flag, have respect for the people that are on the front lines, fighting every single day, risking their lives for everything that we have over here, then why are you here? What's the point of coming here? So, if your excuse is that the immigration process takes a year, 2 years. It took me 11 years.
How many?
11 years. 11 years before I got my citizenship. If the timeline is your excuse, then you don't really want it as much. If you just want to jump over the border and get everything.
They were criminals. See, they start out. See, this is very important. I get very passionate about it. Difficult for me to, when I'm speaking, to stand. But when you look at this, They have no respect for the law. And in the Bible, God hates lawlessness. They have no respect for law and order. You know, one of the reasons why we found a conservative business journal: respect law and order, respect the military. Once they cross the border, they have no respect for this country. Absolutely. They don't respect law and order. Once laws are moved out, there's no order. When things are out of order, when something says doesn't work, you go up to the machine, what's out of order. It doesn't work. You can't run a country or run a citizenship or be a citizen when you're out of order. Yeah. Let that sink in for all of you. Law and order, once that's a Judeo-Christian conservative value, that when that is, you know, lost, there's no law and order, it's over.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, at the end of the day, you know how easy it is to get a visa from Mexico to the United States? Well, it's way easier than any of the Middle Eastern countries. The country where I come from, good luck getting a visa, all right?
You're from where?
Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan.
Yeah, good luck getting a visa. My mom, before she finally got her tourist visa to come down and visit me, 5 times she was denied. 5 times she was denied.
It's crazy.
It's really hard. And from Mexico, it's not that hard. So not only you border with the United States of America, with the greatest country in the world, it's also easy to get the visa to come down here. And at the end of the day, no matter how long the whole immigration process is, if you want to stay here legally, it's doable.
That's right.
It's possible.
That's right. But they got to do it legally.
Check out Europe. Try and get citizenship in Europe, and you will see how much harder it is to get anywhere in Europe citizenship compared to the United States of America. And people complain that it's hard.
And you know what's amazing too? Even as this is our event. We have 22 speakers coming in. We have Pastor Greg Locke coming in. Many of you know Pastor Greg Locke. He's gonna share a serious. You know, he's a radical Judeo-Christian pastor who did not back down at all. I mean, he called CNN out. It's interesting when you go across here. You have how many people here from legal? Obviously, you're there, Frank Valentine.
Who's this guy? This guy looks
Frank
familiar.
Valentine right there. Tremendous champ. Legal immigrant. Alex. How do you say Alex's last name?
Blagojevich.
There you go. Alex B.
I'm the only one.
Alex is awesome.
Correctly.
Legal immigrant. Sabine, legal immigrant. And then we have Julio. We have Frank. We have Eric. Dr. Oger. All going to discuss legal immigration. Yeah. And many of you know Rebecca Friedrichs is awesome. All you do is put her name, Rebecca, and then first like Fried Riches. It's Friedrichs. Put that in YouTube and search Rebecca Friedrichs Trump RNC. She did a 3-minute, 34-second video when she talked about school unions, and it just exposed what's going on in school unions. And she hit nationwide fame. They're actually making a documentary about her. She sued the school unions and won.
Wow.
And she's coming in to speak at the event. And then you know Keith and Dominic here locally from Florida Citizens Alliance. Tremendous. They're doing so much tremendous work here for school education. So our event, we're covering all the topics. Then we got Michelle and Sophia from Jexit, Jexit is the Jews exiting Democratic Party, talking about communism and anti-Semitism going on. So all the topics we're discussing. And then we got Alan and Francine Fosdick. They started a radio show called Up Front and the Prophetic, back in 2005. Wow. I mean 2008, excuse me. And I spoke at their event in Pennsylvania. They had the largest event in Pennsylvania since the China virus came in.
Huh.
And she's going to share about the power of Daniel from the Bible, just the power of Daniel, what Daniel's done, and just his strength. And we got obviously Alfie Oakes here. Yes. Lieutenant Stephen Rogers is going to speak a lot about China and Taiwan. He's an intel expert. He's a law enforcement expert, a military expert. He's a retired lieutenant in the military. We got Dr. Linda Lee Tarver coming in on election integrity from Detroit, Michigan. Mm-hmm. She got nationwide fame when she gave a deposition and a quote unquote subpoena and whatever the legal thing. She said, "Look, there's tons of fraud in Michigan."
Yes.
Have you ever met Dr. Linda?
No. Actually, I never met her.
And all these incredible speakers have all been in my podcast show. All the speakers are handpicked for their expertise, their love for the country, and they're all in.
Yeah, absolutely. So, John, which one of these speakers is going to be telling people about buying more guns?
Right here, Frank Valentine. Because it's so important. I mean, look how God lined this event up. You got Frank Deverano from 28 Books in Communism. Julio Martinez Julio's awesome. He's actually running for mayor now in Hialeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he's unbelievable when it comes to everything with Cuba. And then you got Christy McLaughlin.
Christy McLaughlin, she's awesome.
She's awesome, Christy. Mm-hmm. You know, she's the youngest lady that
was running for Congress.
And she's a strong young conservative. She's actually suing the school right now, the colleges for discrimination against conservative values. And then Hadass, we just booked the Hadass last week. She's an Israeli-American singer. She sings unreal.
Nice.
And she was actually an American Idol finalist.
Wow.
Season number 2. And she loves America. She loves Judeo-Christian values. And she sings. She's going to be part of the entertainment at the VIP dinner. So what happens that We the People Fight Back is you go to an event like this and you leave it feeling, you know what, I can make a difference.
Yeah. And really, at the end of the day, you all can make a difference. It doesn't matter. You know, there is a story that I like to tell. It's a story about a little Russian boy during the World War II. Not me, it's the story that I read in school. And he wanted to help the soldiers, but he was too little. He was like 11, 12, he's a little boy. And so he started running around on the battlefield, active battlefield, while two sides are firing at each other, and pick up the guns from the dead soldiers, pick up the ammo, and bring it to the front, to the Russian front. And he was doing that, and he was helping the soldiers. Eventually, he died. He got shot, he got killed. It's a sad story, but that story teaches you that no matter who you are, little, you know, unknown, you don't have everybody got a voice.
Everybody's powerful.
Something.
People always goes, so who's the big name speaker at your event? You. Everybody here is a big name speaker.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm blessed to say that I've written 20 books, I've traveled the country now, we're speaking 2-3 times a week around the country. But also, you're gonna love meeting Eric Corcoran. Yes. Another one, how he's a legal immigrant from Ireland, as he says, this country's adopted me. And you know, Dr. Olga, Women's for Trump, yes. Serbians for Trump, she's phenomenal. Pressy Stutz, an incredible retired Navy chaplain, just an all-out conservative, all-out warrior. Then we got Captain Wayne Smith, 5 years, 2 months at Hanoi Hilton as a POW.
Prisoner of war.
I mean, it is just, and then you got Maureen Maloney, who you're going to meet. Her son was killed by an illegal alien. You guys, this is why all of you guys can visit WeThePeopleFightBackEvent.com. WeThePeopleFightBackEvent.com. I'm showing in the description.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the description below so you guys can go to the old website.
How good is our food at our event?
How good is our food? The food was delicious. The VIP dinner was great.
And how about our gourmet lunches? No
yes,
white box lunch, no potato chip bags or sticky like saran wrap around old bread. We have a 5-star lunch. Our lunch is included, and it's in the hotel, in the room we're in. Our whole goal through this event is to equip all of you to go back to you. We have people coming in from 19 states. It's only 200 people, and it's classroom style. You sit at a table like this, you take notes, because that's how we fight back. We equip and empower you as an individual to feel stronger, to do something different. And it is so important. And I want to thank all the sponsors. I want to thank all of you, all the sponsors you see that proudly sponsor this, from STZ Network to Jason Beal to Gwen Newback to Kingdom Plan Advisory Group, Freedom One Coffee, Veteran One Coffee Company. They're going to be there with their coffee. And then Latasha, remember Latasha? She had all the soaps.
Yes, all the soaps and stuff.
She's coming back once again. And then Barry and Kimberly from 239 Real Estate. He's awesome. He's got the Irish Clover there. He's awesome, Barry. He's a major sponsor of the event. And guys, this is what America's about. We the people. I see the communists, the radical left, they're not winning, we're winning. We're winning because we're having a conversation today. Yeah. People watching this are going to get moved to see, you know what? And I want to kind of just to summarize this. What are you fighting for? Yeah. Your family and your future. Any of you have kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, anyone under the age of 10 you love, stand.
Absolutely. 100%.
Stand for the country.
Yeah.
Stand for the country.
So, John, where did you start? Because I know a lot of people are watching you and obviously inspired with your story, with what you're doing. But they're like, where do I start? How did your journey start?
I'll tell a 8-hour story in about a minute. You hear my accent, I'm from New York. I come from a very large Italian family. At the age of 4, they identified. There's a zillion cousins and brothers and everybody, and we had a lot of siblings, just a lot of people in our family. And they said, look, if you're not bleeding, don't call us. Just go down, wrestle, have fun. Just kids being kids, you know. Our kids now wrapped up in masks and washing their hands. You got to get dirty. You got to get in the mud. You got to eat mud. That's how you build your immune system. Get dirty. Get outside. Wipe mud in people's face. Eat mud. That's how That's how kids build immune systems, right? You build strength.
Yeah.
You don't build strength by being Purell like this or walking around like sterile and mask. Kids wearing a mask. That's another whole story in itself. So what they did is, at the age of 4, my parents, Mary Ann and Phil Di Lemme, and my dad's will most likely watch this and show it to my mom. My dad's 92, and my mom's 90. They're very healthy. They're very focused, and they said, So they noticed I wasn't speaking. So they took me to Lawrence Hospital. For those of you that know New York, that's in Bronxville, right between Yonkers and the Bronxville, New York. And at the age of 4, I put these big headphones on, kind of the ones like Jason Biel, like all the video audio champions wear when they're doing the recordings and so forth. And they said every time you hear a whistling sound, tap on a table. So after 30 minutes, they came out and said, your son hears fine. Because when I wasn't speaking, they thought I was mute. I couldn't hear. They said, your son hears fine. He has a speech impediment. At the age 4, the doctor said, your son has a speech impediment. So flip it forward. I went to speech class for 14 years.
Wow.
Age 4 to age 18. I went to New York School for the Deaf for reading. That's why, as you got to know me now, Frank, over the last year now, I use a lot of acronyms a lot. I teach in acronyms, like AOC stands for absolutely, obviously clueless.
That's a good one.
And it's because I studied the alphabet through all my reading classes. And what happened was at the age of 18, they literally diagnosed me, and I was the first one to get a college degree in my family, in just an Italian heritage scenario. And I failed the oral report in high school. They said, it was an Italian class, and they said to say the Our Father in Italian. I went, Abba Father, and I never positive feel the Spirito, and I started to stammer. And they said, you fail. And in New York State, there's 2 types of diplomas. There's a Regents diploma that comes in, where the state's got to give you, for those of you that know New York State, they have to give you a Regents diploma from the state, and then there's the high school that gives you the diploma.
Right.
I failed the New York State Regents diploma. So I had a full scholarship to Mercy College, Pace University, Iona College. I lost half my scholarship because I couldn't speak. I went through college as a stutterer and a stammerer. I had braces for 7 years. I have a space in my teeth here. I mean, the story goes on and on, and I would never thought today, Frank, how much that story means to people. Now, God had a reason for that, because the devil knew if I was going to open my mouth, I would inspire and change people's lives. That's why I respect every single one of these people. Are incredible champions. Everyone coming to the event, incredible champions. So then I took my college degree, and I went back work where my family business was in the art. That's why I always give frames out, the frame stuff. My family has an art gallery background. And I graduated, we had a big graduation party that Sunday, back to work Monday, back in the art gallery, 7 a.m., running a couple stores. I'm like, well, I got this paper. I got a double major in management and marketing and minor in psychology. I actually had a full scholarship to a master's at Long Island University for business. And I turned it down. I went back to work with my family. And I said, well, let me just maybe get a corporate job, like go wear a suit and go to a corporate position. So I answered an ad and said, make $10,000 a month with tailor-made clothes, drive Mercedes-Benz. It was network marketing. World famous MLM. Long story short, I went out to the event that night, and a young lady says, even if you decide not to get involved in the business tonight, purchase this book, Think and Grow Rich. And I said, wow, Think and Grow Rich, I have a goal. And she said, even if you choose not to get involved in the business tonight, but if you have a goal you want to achieve. I said, I just want to speak. Why do every time I speak, I feel a vein in my neck, I'm freaking out, I can't talk, I'm nervous, I'm scared. I mean, even for over many years, I worked for my family, because I couldn't say hard letters, like Di Lemme or Discover card. So if someone coming, that was way when you had to call in for the authorization numbers. That's way before now, whatever, scanning stuff. And they would come in with a Discover card. I'm like, oh, I'll just give it to you. It's a gift on me, because I couldn't say Discover. I would literally have to go into my own pocket, because I wouldn't steal from my family. I'd write what that payment was for that frame job. It's amazing. And then what happened was I read a book, Think and Grow Rich. 90% of it's awesome, 10% is wacky. It got me thinking differently. And I always say this, and how many of you that's why I believe in reading. I believe this is one of my books. I believe in reading books, taking notes. That most of you read books to learn, to pass a test. You don't read to learn.
Yes.
You read, I pass my test, and I stop reading. Once your mind stops learning, that's why Andrew Carnegie started the library system. He said we have to get people learning.
Yeah.
Andrew Carnegie became a billionaire, and he's got a unique background, obviously, the Carnegies. But he started having people read, because he's like, if you stop learning, they're gonna control you.
Exactly.
So I started to read the right books, and then I overcame my stuttering and stammering, and in this process, I did very well in direct selling, and I started to teach young kids that overcome stuttering, and I've always had conservative values. I mean, my first book I wrote, I don't have it here with me today, my first book I wrote was 19 years ago, and the first chapter is all about America. My second book is all about freedom, the first chapter. My third book is about being pro-life. So God had this all set up. So when someone says, well, you just jumped on the Trump train 4 years ago, I go, all right, idiot. That's an Italian word for moron. I'm like, okay, idiot. Let me show you a book I wrote in 2006 about pro-life.
Yeah.
This is 2006. It's now 2021. It's interesting, because when I spoke today over here in Naples, I even say, someone came up to me and said, you know what, it was good to hear that, because there's so many people just jumping on the train.
Yes.
So all of you have a story. I know it's kind of a longer than 3-minute story, but everybody has a story.
Yeah.
And you know, and your story, like you look at your story. I love when you share your story about when you eyewitness people getting executed. And that was the seasoning God. Now you accepted Christ, you get baptized. That was God using your story, Frank, to say, you're going to be one of the largest. And I'm always proud of you. I introduce you to everybody. I think, how much business you get tonight? You got capitalism. I think it's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's got the Prius out there, jacked up like a military store. I think it's important. A capitalism, everybody wins with capitalism. Everyone wins with socialism.
100%.
I mean, everybody. It was when, like here, like even like this corkboard. This is made. We have a local printer that does all of our business. Guess what? They're conservatives. We're one of their top clients. All the quote cards, this quote card, these pieces of artwork, or everybody wins. Capitalism is the key. Everybody gets to use God's talent.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. Like when someone gets a gun from you, that person definitely wins. If they ever have to use it, their life's saved.
Exactly.
The manufacturer wins. You win. Everything. The person that makes the case wins. The person that makes the plastic sleeve the gun is in, the ammunition. Everybody wins with capitalism.
Exactly.
You know, capitalism is not. They think these billion-dollar companies. That's how the communists use that as negativity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, capital begins with two things: your mind and your heart. That world famous fly here. You know, so that's the whole process. That's why we the people fight back. It's so important to get empowered.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, again, all the links are going to be in the description below for the Conservative Business Journal. Make sure to definitely subscribe to the newsletter.
The fly, we got it.
The newsletter is awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, I am subscriber. Read all that. And if you are planning to visit the event, which you should be, again, the link is going to be in the description below. John?
And then also, too, just real quick, because I get censored in so many places.
Oh.
Make sure you guys follow me on Telegram. If you guys are on Telegram, like the flies on Telegram, just sorry.
Where's my gun? Bring me my gun. I'm going to shoot the damn fly.
We got a fly going. But we're concluding now. You guys on Telegram, just search out CBJ Real News. CBJ for Conservative Business Journal, but it's just the acronym. Just put CBJ Real News. And we're on Telegram all the time. This whole video will be on Telegram.
Seriously.
The fly.
The fly is a liberal.
The fly is a liberal. But it was perfect. Right at the conclusion.
Say it again.
Frank, you're awesome, my man.
John, it was a pleasure.
Thank you,
Thank
brother.
you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, share it, and like I said, all the links are in the description below. Firearms of America.
It's the best.
So John, what kind of guns do you have?
Christy's got them. Glocks.
Oh, Glock. I'm a fan of Glock. Oh, we're taking pictures?
Take a picture. Okay.
Hey there! Thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate your time. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing because that definitely helps. All the support that I can get now. YouTube has been after me for a while now because I'm an immigrant, because I am conservative, and that does go against the narrative. Having a gun channel on YouTube is not easy. So if you can, please consider supporting me through the Patreon. Now the link is in the description below, and if you don't know what Patreon is a subscription service where you can help out your favorite creators, and I hope that I am one of those favorite. So please consider that. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.